Talk. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. You know, President Trump has had it. He really has had it. Yeah. I mean, there's no there's no getting around it, guys. You look at everything that Trump is doing. I was talking about this on my podcast. What's going on with President Trump is a great many things. Okay, but if I were to sum it all up, what he's really doing is what I would call the Great American Reset. He's resetting the country in the way that it should be, right? He's cleaning out the illegals. Right now, they've got this major ICE operation going on in Chicago, which I'm going to cover on the next stream. This operation in Chicago, a big part of it is cleaning up the crime, because a lot of the crime in Chicago is because of the illegals that are there. So he's actually starting with the crime cleanup with the illegals, with the ICE raids. Okay, so he's doing that. Yesterday, he was talking about bringing prayer back to the public schools. And how many of you out there are old enough to remember when you could pray in school? Not only could you pray, but it was done pretty openly at all the football games. It was done. I can remember going to football games, school football games, high school football games, and they would have a prayer with both teams, everyone in the stands, the coaches, the staff. No one complained. No one complained. One of the things I'll talk about today, when I was in elementary school here in Florida in the 5th grade, they had two guys. I don't know who they were with. They were with a Christian organization, a church or something. They spent the entire day going to every classroom of the school. This is when I was in 5th grade here in Florida, offering free red letter pocket editions of the New Testament. And they came in the class. They had a box of pocket New Testaments, and they offered it to everyone. If you wanted it, you raised your hand. And nobody complained. Nobody called the ACLU. And red letter editions, just the New Testament. It didn't even have the Old Testament in it. And that's the way it used to be. And when they got rid of prayer in the public schools and all these other things that the left have been doing, that's when the whole country started to go down the tubes. I don't know if they were Gideon's local church. It was here in Florida. They could have been Southern Baptist. I don't know who they were. 5th grade, I mean, that was like 1982. That was a long time ago for me. 81, 82, something like that. And that's the way it used to be. And when they, this country is a Christian nation. Now, that doesn't mean everybody is a Christian, but the majority of people are by far. And this country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. And when they, when you look around the world where the communists, the fascists, the dictators take over, they want Christianity out. They want it out because the government wants to be the decider of what's moral. And look what's happened, right? They're turning penises into vaginas and telling you that if you don't think that's the right thing to do for a child to do, that something's wrong with you, right? So that's what it's all about, And this talk that started after this tragedy in Minneapolis, where the liberals were talking about how prayer is a waste of time. Those students were targeted. That school was targeted because they were Christians, just like in Nashville. And if you remember Columbine with Klebold and Harris, they sought out a well-known Christian student, and they killed her while she was praying. Remember that? So this getting rid of prayer, the Bible, from school and public life is when everything in this country started to go down morally. Trump said woke is pretty much dead, but it's like a weed. He said that yesterday. It's so true. Uh-huh. Make prayers great again. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I pray all the time in private. I'm not talking about that we have to have these huge public prayers. But what's happened is, since they've shut out Christianity, since they've shut out the Bible, since they've shut out prayer, there's no moral code in the public square in this country anymore. Mm-hmm. Brian says, as a Swiss, it's difficult to take America in any way serious, except it's about to... Well, this is what I often tell people from other countries that watch me, who say things like this. Oh, America, can't take America seriously. We're laughing. This is you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you, the Swiss guy and those of you in other countries. And I'm going to say this quite shockingly, which may be in the ugly American kind of tone, but in America, Americans don't give a shit what people in other countries think about our country or our president. It's always been that way. We just don't care. Who's even the leader of Switzerland? Does anybody even know? If you're not Swiss, we don't care. We just don't care. And I know people don't like to hear that because they don't want to think that their countries are not that important. Where every human's important, but in the United States, we just don't care what other countries think about us or really anything. And we are really Americans. We care about our country, and we know that our country is the best country, that our way of life is the best way of life. We've been taken over by lunatic wokesters in recent years, but we're taking it back with Trump, and that's the reality of the situation. I know it seems kind of rude to say it that way, but it's true. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. And my next stream, I'll be in the studio taking live calls. And I'm going to cover a lot of things on the program today. I'm going to start with the deportation operation in Chicago, which is just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. What's stupid about it? Why should we care about other countries? The United States is the driver of everything in the world. That's just the way it is. Sorry to tell you. I know it sounds rude, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just telling you what Americans think. We don't care about any of that. It's comical. In America, we don't know who the leaders of these other countries are, and we don't care. And I know maybe that is rude. I don't know, but that's we're more concerned with getting our own country on track. We've got a lot of problems here that the Democrats have caused, and we want to, New Scum 2028. Yeah, New Scum, that's fine. Let New Scum run. He's welcome to lose. That's right. No, we got to take care of our country. I mean, not to single you out, but I will, like the guy from Switzerland. If Switzerland ceased to exist today, how many days would it take for the world to notice? And what negative impact would that have? All the drug cartel leaders that have their money hidden in Swiss banks, I guess, would. But what would change in the world? If the United States ceased to exist today, there would be a global collapse. Security-wise, the world would break out into war because we keep the peace, and the economy of the planet would collapse. But if Switzerland or Canada or any of these countries cease to exist today, there's very few of them that would make a difference so far. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I realized this many years ago, and it's so true. The United States is the most. There are other countries that would have an impact, but no one as big as the United States. But most countries would have no impact if they no longer existed, because they don't really contribute to the world. Most of, especially Europe. Europe is just really a tourist trap. hmm What's Europe got to offer? I mean, Europe offers nothing but trouble here. They got this ridiculous war with Russia and Ukraine going on. I mean, come on. Even if you look at the Middle East, I know these leftist anti-Semites they hate Jews, so they want to blame the Jews. But Europe is responsible for all the problems in the Middle East. They took over the Middle East, and when they pulled out after the First World War, they created all these fake countries, put in power. They created fake royal families and did all these things. And all the problems in the Middle East are because of Europe. Messed up everything. I mean, I give the Europeans credit for settling America. That's great. But we've been independent since 1776, and we've done pretty good for ourselves. The United States is the largest economy in the world. Europe, with all how many countries make up Europe? All of them combined aren't quite where we're at. Europe is not America's ally. They've done nothing but screw us over. They got us in 2 world wars. Even the Iraq War with George W. Bush was based on that lying British intelligence. When does Europe have our back? When do they have our back in Europe? Right? Exactly. Europe is just brings death, destruction, misery, and division. When has Europe gotten? I know it's not a country, but we talk about it as it is, because on their own, the countries of Europe aren't all that. They've got to have this coalition as a continent to make themselves important. What is Europe? When has Europe had our back? Exactly. They never have our back. All they do is suck us dry and cause death and misery. Inquisitions, plagues, world wars. I mean, think about it. How dare you? How can Europe allow this Russian-Ukraine war to go on for years? Right? How can they allow that? Europe didn't have our back in Normandy. We had Europe's back. My goodness. Europe did not help America with our independence. Are you kidding me? We fought Europe. We fought the British for our independence. All right, what are you talking about? We had a revolution. We had a revolution and left Europe. Our founding fathers said enough of Europe. France supported the colonies in the revolution. That's right. They did help a little bit. But what have they done since 1777, man? So, what have they done since then? That's a long time ago. And that's not the current, that wasn't to help us. They were, the French and the Brits were always at war, and that was just to screw over England. They didn't care, and it's not the same government. The royals were still in power. So the royal family, and look what Europe did. So France helped us in the revolution, gave us some arms, gave us some ships, and what did France do? They cut off their heads. Exactly. It was the royal family that helped us. The King of France helped us. Please. And they didn't do it for any good reason. They just did it to screw England. Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, that's true. It's a sad reality. I don't know what they teach you guys in Europe about American history, but you got it all messed up. You got it all messed up. So what I'm gonna lead with today on the program is talking about the ICE operations in Chicago. I'm going to also talk about Zohan in New York, Mamdani. I'm just fed up with New York, and I'm going to talk about this on the program this morning. But I on my podcast yesterday afternoon, I played a couple of clips of Mamdani, which I'm going to play again on the morning show. He wants to empty out Rikers Island, which is the jail, right? He wants to do away with the NYPD gang database and everything. He's going to release all these criminals from Rikers into the city. And, as far as I'm concerned, screw New York City. If they're going to elect this Zohan Mamdani, let him. I watched Zohan Mamdani had a joint event with Bernie Sanders over the weekend, Bernie Sanders Fight the Oligarchy. So you've got the Fight the Oligarchy tour is Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Mamdani. Other than being Democrat socialist, which is communist, closeted communist, what do AOC, Zohan Mamdani, and Bernie Sanders have in common? What do they have in common other than they're liberal, democratic, socialist? Can anybody guess? What do the three of them have in common as they're fighting the oligarchy? Let me hear some guesses. Ethics? No. Ethics? No. No. Let's see if anybody guesses. Morals? No. They have no morals. Bartenders? Millionaires! That's correct. Crazy horse got it. Millionaires. Bernie Sanders, Zohan Mamdani, and AOC are millionaires as they fight the oligarchy. Oh, wow. Aren't they? If they're all three millionaires, are they not oligarchs? That's right. It's so ridiculous. And these dumbasses that show up and fight the oligarchy, what stupid dummies. And I actually, because the oligarchs, yes, they're oligarchs. That's correct. Whatever an oligarch is, what is that? Some Russian word? I don't know. What is this? The Russian Revolution? Exactly. They're millionaires, hypocrites, and they're stupid sheeple. They fight the oligarchs, down with the rich. They got 3 millionaires up there laughing their asses off at these idiots. But I watched the Mamdani speech with Bernie Sanders from over the weekend in some theater somewhere in New York. And I watched the whole thing, and I was going to play it on the program here. And I'm not. And I watched it, and I said to myself, you know what I said to myself? If this is going to be a crude word, you don't hear me say, but fuck New York City. I mean, you listen to this guy and the things that he's saying. If they want to elect this guy, let him. Screw him. When this guy, I'm going to play the clips on the show this morning. Mamdani said he's going to empty out Rikers jail. Right? Not being censored. You're right here. Right? He's going to empty out the jail and do away with the gang database. And well, if that doesn't convince New Yorkers that they shouldn't vote for him, what are you or I going to say to them to convince them? You have to be the dumbest mother effer in the world to vote for a guy who's saying, I am going to empty out the jail and send the prisoners into your city? So F them. Screw them. Exactly. I mean, what the hell? All the good people in New York, move. Get out. Let these dumbasses supporting these 3 millionaires, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Zohan, fight the oligarch tour, and, let them. Just let them. There's nothing we can do. I'm not worried about it anymore. Mayor Adams won't drop out. Curtis Lee said he won't drop out. Screw them all. Screw them all. Bunch of narcissistic dumbasses in New York is what you got. And when you look at this crime wave that President Trump is fighting right now, right? Look at this crime wave that President Trump is fighting right now, okay? At the same time, Zohan he's running on the campaign promise, Mamdani, to empty out Rikers Island jail. So Trump's fighting a crime wave, and he's saying, vote for me. I'm going to fill the city of criminals. Okay, well, vote for him, dumbasses. If that's what you want, New York, I mean, what else? It's insane. So, so I'm going to cover that too on the program today. I'm going to start with the ICE in Chicago because that's the lead story, and I want to talk about the Ukrainian girl who was murdered by the Democrat. But I mean, I'm done trying to convince New Yorkers. I'm done. Right? What about you guys? Is that too harsh of me? Screw them. Sorry to use the profanities, but what are you gonna do? It's insane. If you're new to my program, make sure you subscribe. And if you'd like to support my program, click my MyPillow link that I have pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. Use my promo code Kane at checkout for huge discounts. Also, the free shipping offer is still in effect. MyPillow.com/Kane, Kane, promo code Kane. The link is in the description of the video as well as pinned in the live chat. You go to my MyPillow page, you get incredible deals on some of the most popular MyPillow products out there. I have almost all the MyPillow products in my home. I love them. And of course, you're supporting all my content, my YouTube channel, podcast, and radio show when you use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. So click that link and buy some stuff. It's also in the description of the video. Yeah, escape from New York. Exactly. Enough. And what really woke me up to this is when I watched the speech that he gave on stage with Bernie Sanders over the weekend. And I realized you've got this. I did not realize this, okay, until I watched the whole speech with Mamdani. There's this Bernie Sanders is a cult leader. And there's this cult of dumbasses that think that Bernie Sanders, who's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, who has at least 5 homes, is down with them, right? And is against the rich. Well, he is one of the rich. And I was listening to Mamdani praise him, and I realized this is a fanatical cult of idol worshipers, and their idol is this idiot Bernie Sanders who talks like he's got food in his mouth all the time. And then I saw this interview with Mamdani where he's promising to empty out the prison, the local jail, and send the prisoners into the city. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's like that. It's that Mel Robbins guru book. Let them. Don't worry about it. Let them. Let them elect this jerk. Let them, live in the cesspool that New York will be. It's already got a lot of problems crime-wise. And that's it. I'm sorry. Gee whiz. Ugh. Yeah. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. I mean, who runs for mayor of a city on the campaign promise of emptying out the city jail into the city with the prisoners. Who does that? And what kind of dumbasses applaud that in the audience? Think about that. Vote for me. I'm gonna empty out the county jail and send all the prisoners into your neighborhood. Yay, Mom Toddy! You know, you have to be a psychotic lunatic to vote for that. So let them. Screw them all. You know, I'm done trying to convince anyone in New York. Well, thank you to the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. You'll love the next stream if you're new. I'll be in the studio taking live calls. Now I'm just in the car waiting for Starbucks to open because I desperately need some coffee. Yeah. I didn't realize that, you know what? Bernie Sanders is to these liberals what L. Ron Hubbard is to Scientologists. That's what he is, you know. And he's a nut, lunatic, phony cult leader. I know they try to say that MAGA people we're not in a cult. I mean, we love and admire Donald Trump, but it's not a cult. But the Democratic Socialist, it is a cult. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, AOC needs to get on that diet that I've been on, the Coastal Weight Loss Secret, because every time I see her, she's getting a bigger belly. Yeah. Exactly. I've got this video of Bernie, AOC, and Mamdani filming a commercial, and they're walking down the street pretending to have a deep conversation about something. It's so vacuous. I'm gonna play it on the program today. Mike Lindell's awesome, yeah. My home is worth more than twice what I paid for it. Are you kidding me? I talk about this often. I could not afford to move into my neighborhood. I've lived in this house for 21 years. It's worth well over 2 times what I paid for it. And the people that just moved in next door to me, holy smokes, my property has really gone up in value. And it goes up all the time. I mean, do you guys agree with me about New York? I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Help these jerks. Let me get some water here. Talking about liberals is making my throat dry. Wow, it's what time is it? 4:33 in the morning. Holy smokes. That is early in the morning, 4:32 a.m. Starbucks should really be open 24 hours. If they were open 24 hours, it would make my life a lot easier. If I could give up this coffee addiction, that would make my life easier too, but that's not going to happen. It depends on where you are. I'm on the East Coast, which we have renamed Mar-a-Lago time. I'm in Florida. Oh, you're in Europe? Noah's in Europe, yeah. I am in Florida. Yep. That was called a joke. Just a little joke. The coffee makes you dehydrated, so you got to hydrate before you drink coffee. Decaf espresso? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not switching anything. Oh, you ordered the MyPillow slippers? Awesome, Angel. Yeah, I have them. They're awesome. Promo code Kane. Yeah, again, if you guys would like to support my content, click my MyPillow link. It's pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. And with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, huge savings and a free shipping offer too. And you're supporting my content. What would I be selling out, Lou? Are you kidding? What misinformation have I given out? Just in this stream. Give me an example of some misinformation I've given out since you've been watching this stream. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. Give me an example of some misinformation you've heard me spew since you've been watching this stream. Everything I've said is 100% factual. Exactly. Liverpool, welcome. Yeah, I'm waiting. Exactly. Everything I've said is factual. Now, on the next stream, I'll be in the studio. You can, there'll be a toll-free number pinned in the chat. You can call me live on the air and challenge me with anything that you disagree with or agree with. You can call in if you agree with me as well. Welcome, everyone. No, Zohan Mamdani, he said, I've got the audio. I want to play it. He's promising to let the prisoners free. That's right. Into the city. Who promises that when they're running for office? Usually they promise to lock up the criminals, not Mamdani. Yeah, I'm waiting for all the misinformation I gave to be listed, but I guess they couldn't think of anything. Oh, President Trump lowered taxes, biggest tax cut in history with the big, beautiful bill. He absolutely did. Yep. Which was pretty awesome, I must say. Pretty awesome. Oh, yeah, no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. He extended the Trump tax cuts. Most of them made permanent. Huge tax cuts. Huge tax cuts. Oh, my goodness. If those Trump tax cuts would have expired, oh, my gosh, I don't know what I would have done. You haven't listed anything, Seacoast. All right, Seacoast, list the biggest thing that you say I'm spewing disinformation. Seacoast, list the biggest disinformation you've seen me spew in this live stream. Seacoast, let's see. Let's give him maybe 30 seconds. That's right. If he doesn't come back in 30 seconds. Something that I've said that's misinformation, the biggest bit of disinformation you've seen me spew since you've been watching the stream this morning. Let's see. No, she's a millionaire. No, she is a millionaire. It's true. She's not as rich as Bernie or Zohan, but she's a millionaire. Yep. Nope, she's a millionaire. Well, pretty much everything means you can't think of anything, Seacoast. I'll accept your apology if you were to offer it. What happens, one of the ways they make these people millionaires is they give them book deals and publishing books that no one wants to buy, and then they buy them up. Yep. And how many of you liberals think Elon's a Nazi, right? Elon Musk a Nazi? Well, AOC is driving Hitler's car then because she's got a Tesla. That's right. But that's how they do it with book deals. That's how Ron DeSantis made a little bit of money. They do these fake book deals. Very few people buy the books. They buy them up. And then next thing you know, they're rich. By the way, let me ask you guys this. This poor Ukrainian refugee that murdered here in the United States on the train. Do you think that was a racial hate crime? I think so. I think I think that was a 100% hate crime. Do you guys agree with that? Yes or no? He never met her, had no contact with her ever before. He just did it. Absolutely. Racial hate crime. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah. Pretty sad, isn't it? You know, and all these leftists with the Ukrainian flags and everything. He got a poor Ukrainian girl, fled her country, comes to America. She'd probably still be alive in Ukraine. She comes here, she gets murdered by a Democrat. Because you know the killer's a Democrat too, right? Mm-hmm. The killer's definitely a Democrat. Oh, the judge, you know, he was arrested 14 times. These judges are accessories to murder. I wish they were actors and it wasn't real. Young girl, hardworking girl. How old was she? 22, 23, working in a pizza parlor. You know, they show that one glamour Instagram shot like she's a model. She's very pretty, but she worked at a pizza joint. Worked hard. Was she just getting off work, worked hard all day, and then that happens? You know? And I saw on X that she was a Black Lives Matter supporter. Poor girl. So, a Ukrainian refugee, liberal girl, murdered by a Democrat, and it's we Republicans, MAGA, standing up to say enough and are fed up and bringing this guy to justice and stopping other killings like that. Mm-hmm. She pulled a double. Oh my goodness. She pulled a double, which means she needed the money for something. Wow. How many young girls that age are working doubles in a pizza joint, you know, as opposed to all these immoral girls that get their OnlyFans or something, and you know, it's pretty bad. It is. It's sad. It's sad, and these Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. They really should. Really should. He stole her whole life from her. She hasn't even started her life yet. She's gone. Yep. What's my pillow? It's the most comfortable pillow you've ever slept on. If you are not sleeping on a My Pillow, you're not sleeping. I've been sleeping on a My Pillow for years and years. Yes, if you want to support my channel, support my content, click my Pillow link that's pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and get the best night's sleep you've ever had. You get huge discounts, plus the free shipping offers in place. Absolutely. Yep. Oh boy, if you're new, subscribe, guys. All right, drive with me to Starbucks. We're in dark MAGA mode now, guys. Dark MAGA mode engaged. Dark MAGA mode disengaged. I definitely need some coffee. She really worked a double shift. Oh. That girl had her whole life ahead of her. The media finally started covering it, but only because dark MAGA mode engaged. The only reason the media covered it is because conservatives embarrassed them into it. They didn't want to cover that. Not at all. Nope. Of course not. When I get on the main highway, it'll get brighter, guys. But we are in dark MAGA mode for sure right now. You know, the thing with the left, they're just heartless. How could you not be heartbroken over what happened to that poor Ukrainian girl by a monster who had been arrested now 15 times? This is his 15th arrest. And if the case wasn't so high profile, who knows? The Democrat judge might even have let him out after this incident. They're monsters. They're just complete monsters. There's no getting around it. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. I'll be making live calls on my next stream from the studio, which will be in about half an hour or so. But I definitely need that coffee. Oh my goodness. I wish I didn't have to drink coffee. I've given up giving up coffee. I've tried. It doesn't, it's not worth the aggravation. A lot of traffic on the highway this morning. A lot. Yeah, where I'm at, a lot of people are coming to work where I'm at right now. People go to work early. I like working early in the morning. I've always had early morning hours. And I like it. You work later in the day, it's hanging over you all day. You work, get everything done, got your day free, although I work all day too and do a second show in the afternoon. But you know what I mean. Oh, man. That's right. Yeah, work, a foreign concept to a lot of you, I can tell. Yeah. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and on my next stream, I'll be taking live calls. You won't want to miss that. Whether you agree or disagree, you can call me, and we'll have a lot to talk about, I promise. Yep. Let me see if I can set the phone down. No. I lost my holder broke, and I don't know where my other one is. I've lost it. I got to get a new one. You spent decades working, now you're retired. Good for you. I doubt I'll ever retire. I don't think I could. I just don't think, I think I'd go nuts. You know? Then again, if I won the Powerball, I could probably find it a little easier. Maybe I would just stream once a day instead of like 4. No, just I like what I do. I'm very lucky. Yes, that's right. Enjoy your day. Absolutely. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed if you're new. You will not want to miss the next stream. I promise you. All right, guys, I'm going to take off and finish up my show prep while I'm waiting for them to open. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next stream. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching.